Good morning, Commissioners. John Marra, 39 Hennywell, Upper Timberlake. I'm here today to speak on behalf of the residents and property owners of Lake County regarding the significant burden of property taxes. We're facing a challenge that is outgrowing local resources: the overwhelming cost of funding our schools through property taxes. I'd like to propose a solution that could bring immediate and substantial relief to every property owner, whether residential or business: a state takeover of school funding. Currently, over 60% of property tax revenue in Lake County goes to our schools. This heavy reliance on local property taxes not only places an undue financial burden on our residents, especially seniors and those on fixed incomes, but also makes our businesses less competitive. Transitioning school funding to the state would result in an immediate reduction of property taxes by more than 50% for every property owner. Additionally, many of our schools are on the verge of bankruptcy, highlighting the urgent need for systemic change. Federal government aid could serve as a critical support mechanism to stabilize these districts during this transition. This issue isn't just a Lake County problem, it's a statewide crisis. Communities across Ohio are grappling with similar challenges as a reliance on local property taxes for school funding creates inequities, financial stress, and inefficiencies that impact all Ohioans. Addressing this at the state level would provide a unified and fair solution for everyone. Let me outline a few of the benefits of this shift. 1. Fairness and equity. A state-funded system ensures that all school districts, regardless of local property wealth, receive equitable funding. This means our children's education is no longer tied to the value of our homes or businesses, but instead reflects a commitment to statewide educational standards and opportunities. 2. Economic growth. A 50% reduction in property taxes would spur economic development. Businesses would find Lake County more attractive, leading to increased investments, job creation, and a broader tax base. 3. Support for our residents. For homeowners, particularly seniors living on fixed incomes, this change could mean the difference between staying in their homes or being forced to sell during rising taxes. It provides relief where it is needed most, allowing families to better allocate their resources. 4. Transparency and accountability. With state funding, the complex and often opaque process of property reappraisals would no longer disproportionately affect residents. The state's education funding would come from more uniform sources, providing a clear oversight and accountability. 5. Long-term stability for schools. State-level funding for federal aid would create a more predictable and sustainable financial environment for schools, reducing the risk of sudden budget shortfalls and enabling long-term planning. Enhanced education outcomes. With equitable, consistent funding, schools can invest in better resources, hire additional qualified teachers, and provide innovative programs that improve student performance and prepare them for the future. This isn't an untested idea. States like Texas have explored more centralized approaches to school funding, reducing their reliance on property taxes, and instead of drawing from broader revenue sources such as sales taxes.
Thank you, Mr. Marra. Mr. Matt.
Massie, 8196, Rainbow Drive in Concord Township. With the allowance of the commissioners, I would like to follow up on the remaining few paragraphs that Mr. Marra did not have time. This isn't an untested idea. States like Texas have explored more centralized approaches to in-school funding, reducing reliance on property taxes and instead drawing from a broader revenue source, such as sales taxes or state income taxes. By shifting this responsibility, Ohio would not only lower property taxes, but also modernize its approach to funding public education. I urge you, as our commissioners, to advocate for the change at the state level. Lake County residents are hardworking and they deserve a fair system that reduces their tax burden while ensuring our schools are adequately funded. It's time to prioritize the well-being of our communities and recognize that the current system is unsustainable. Thank you for your time and for your services to our country. I hope that you join me in championing this critical reform for the benefit of all Lake County residents and businesses. I give a big shout out to Mayor Marra for doing that. When you think about what is happening at the federal level with President Trump saying that he will defund the federal Department of Education, that means that there's going to be a new day dawning for public education in the United States. And when I take a look at what is happening in Lake County, I am rooting for Dr. Hoja and the entire board, the new board at Lakeland Community College. They have a tremendous task ahead of them, because right now they've got 4,400 students. They think by 2027 they may raise it to 4,800, and this compared to the heyday of 10,000, it's just not practical. Then when I look at the Auburn Career Center, the costs for to maintain that, I will be advocating that someone take a look at perhaps joining the Auburn with the Lakeland Community College. It's the amount of money that the taxpayers are paying on property taxes for this education is just unreal. It's no one's fault, I guess, other than, there's been a change in our society with a decline in number of students using it. But that means that we have to, think outside the box and for public education. Again, I'm rooting for Dr. Husha. He seems like a very decent gentleman. Same thing with Alvin Foley Kessler as the chairman of the board. But we're all going to need help. We believe that public education, they really should be competing for the children, and not just automatically, if you live in this district, you go to that school. I believe in giving more of the responsibility back to the parents for their education.
Thank you, Mr. Massie.